Hey guys, and welcome to Dramarama episode 2. In today's episode, I'm going to be talking to you guys about Touch Your Heart and Goodbye My Princess. First up is Touch Your Heart, and I gave this one 9 out of 10. I will admit to you guys that I didn't expect too much from this drama. I was mostly just watching it because I thought it'd be fluffy and cute. Don't get me wrong, there is the odd cliche throughout this drama, but the plot did end up having more depth to it than I thought that it would. I got hooked into this one pretty fast. I was surprised by how much I ended up loving this drama. It genuinely had me anticipating each week's episodes, and I just really enjoyed this drama, okay? It was so cute and it had me smiling and squealing, but also there was a lot of intrigue thrown in there as well. Our main female lead is Yeonso, and she is an adorable little Martian. No, my love, you do not take all 30 vitamins in the bottle. That's just telling you how many are in the bottle. You don't take them all at once, sweetie. No. I loved her, okay? She was completely hilarious and she gave me such huge Elle Woods vibes throughout the entire series, with her outfits but also with how people kind of looked at her and kind of assumed she was dumb. But then she'd crack out her law knowledge thanks to her excellent memory and completely prove them wrong. As much as I found her hilarious and adorable, I also really felt for her, especially when it is finally revealed what the deal is with the scandal and what actually happened. And she's supposed to be not very good at acting, and she's just trying to get back on her feet after this scandal, which was completely unfair and infuriated me, but it's okay, it worked out in the end. There's no need for me to get so pressed about it right now. Anyway, I also really admired her determination and her dedication throughout the entire drama, as well as her emotional empathy when it came to other people and the people that they encountered throughout the drama on the various different cases. She has so much understanding and kindness towards all of these different people, and she really does try to help them. But yeah, I just really loved her as a female lead, and I was 100% rooting for her the entire way through. Our male lead is Jungkook. He is a bit of an arse in the beginning, can't lie. He doesn't really give her that much of a chance, but to be fair, some of that is just kind of his personality. He's very straightforward and serious and brusque and matter of fact, and he isn't really that great with human interaction for the most part. Like, he doesn't ever go to company events, he doesn't always really get social cues, like, you know, cornering Yeonso at the company dinner in front of everyone to ask her why she got upset at him, like, no, my dude, no. But he is quite sweet and adorable, and I also had a lot of love for his character too. The thing is, both of them haven't really been in love before, they haven't really had relationships, and the only romance Yeonso's kind of experienced is through the role she's played in her dramas. So there was this kind of like cute innocence and naivety to them and their romance that I really loved, and I feel like it was kind of a nice little twist and change of pace to the usual romance. Alongside the leads, we also have the supporting cast, and I completely and utterly love them. They were all on point. We have her manager, who I loved, although I wasn't really too sure of him at first. We've got the divorce lawyer, who is such a mummy's boy, and he cracked me up so much. I think we should all admire his self-confidence, but he was actually quite sweet too, in his own way. The CEO of the law firm is also quite sweet, and I really felt for him when he tanked on TV. But sometimes I was just like, dial it back, my dude. Dial it back. We also have a female lawyer who literally keeps falling in love over and over. Like, she'll be in love with someone, she'll get heartbroken, and then boom, she'll literally see like a delivery guy and instantly fall in love with him. Was hilarious, but I also feel like she was quite relatable at points, and I did really feel for her, and I shipped her and the divorce lawyer so damn bad, okay? They were my favourite side ship. The biggest shout out, however, goes to Jungkook's roommate. Thank God for him. Seriously, he literally fixed everything between them. One time when they had a fight, he's literally the only one that knows what he's doing and knows what's going on with those two. So whenever something would happen between the main couple after that, I was like, please, can you go and sort it out? Please. Jungkook just needed to let Sewon be his little relationship Yoda. When it comes to the romance, they were so cute from close to the start. I think it was like episode 3, episode 4. They were just so cute, okay, and it was killing me. And then they threw in this sinister clip right in the middle of it, and then it was back to the cute stuff, and I was just like, what just happened? What? If I wasn't hooked already by that point, that would have done it. From that point on, I was kind of anticipating more of them being cute and adorable, and the drama that was inevitably to come from the shady guy from the clip. But I just loved how kind of sweet and innocent their entire romance was, and you saw her kind of get feelings for him first and then try and keep it from him, and then him realise her feelings, and then knowing that her excuses and reasoning for things was pretty much bullshit, but still rolling with it. And I also really enjoyed the level of trust that they had with each other, so we avoided a lot of the usual misunderstandings and a lot of the misunderstandings that could have come up. And I just feel like they had a really healthy relationship, which was really nice to see. While I was drawn in by the romance and the characters, there was also plenty in the plot that kept me interested. We have Yeonso assimilating to her new job and the hilarity that came with that, plus her bonding and getting closer with Jungkook and the other lawyers and so on. We have the romance growing and developing at a very nice pace. We have the mystery of her scandal and what happened and the shady Chaebol when he appears, but alongside all of that, we also have various different cases throughout the entire series that Jungkook handles and Yeonso helps him with. Was not expecting all of the different cases and definitely wasn't expecting her to get quite so involved in them, and they gave you something else to keep you interested as well as adding more depth to the drama. I really enjoyed seeing her getting involved in all of the different cases and helping in her own special way, which I also feel like went a ways with developing the romance, because it does start to paint her in a slightly different light to him and he starts to kind of take her a little bit more seriously. And while I initially didn't really get the focus on two other characters, they did slowly connect in with the main characters and all became clear. It is nicely paced, although I was kind of sad that the whole thing with the Chaebol was resolved quite quickly, because I was worried that we were going to end up having the final few episodes with nothing much really going on and me kind of losing my interest a little bit and getting a little bit bored. But it turns out that there was more to be covered with her comeback and so on, so I was interested right up until the final episode. There was unexpected action at points too, and it basically kept the drama busy right up until the end with the cute and funny moments, as well as a few more obstacles and issues to be worked out. As for my final thoughts, this is a nicely paced drama. There's a really sweet romance, the leads have great chemistry, there's an excellent cast, and Touch Your Heart really does keep you entertained right up until the end when it wraps everything up nicely. So this for me is definitely a rewatchable drama. The other drama that I'm going to talk to you guys about in this episode is Goodbye My Princess, and I gave this one 8.5 out of 10. I'm really sorry you guys, but in order to properly discuss this drama, there are going to be some slight spoilers. I can't avoid them, so if you don't want to know what happens, turn away now. Goodbye My Princess, in a nutshell, is this. I'm not going to lie, I'm still shocked that I enjoyed this drama as much as I did, that I did give it 8.5, and I am so incredibly shocked for one very simple reason. This drama does not have a happy ending, and I do not like dramas with sad endings. I don't watch them. So why did I watch this drama then if I knew it had a heartbreakingly sad ending? I hear you all cry. Well, I started to watch it and I got really hooked in by pretty much everything. Yes, things do jump around quite a lot in the first episode, things do come across as quite jerky, and I did notice it a couple of other times after that initial first point, but the costumes and the settings and the cinematography were really, really beautiful, and I swiftly started to ship Chen Ying and Xiaofeng, and I was having a really good time, okay? And then I read on my drama list that this drama has a sad ending, as in one of them dies. Kind of sad. I was too invested in the characters, too intrigued, and I was just enjoying myself too much, so I sat back and I settled in for 48 more episodes of complete and utter angst that was gonna end in suffering, but hey, at least I was prepared. Mostly. Didn't make it hurt any less, but still. Let me just tell you guys, the more I watch this drama, even my happy ending loving ass could not see how this drama could possibly end happily and make sense. The first episode starts with a glimpse of what is to come. We get a flashback. As far as I'm aware, in the book, the flashbacks happen later on throughout the plot, whereas the drama decided to get all of the flashbacks out of the way in one go at the beginning. I was on edge, waiting for it all to kick off, like you knew what was coming, but you didn't know exactly when, so I got more and more tense the more episodes I watched. I think episode 7 is the final episode before it all goes downhill, just to pre-warn all of you. And I was watching them like, I'll treat you better than anyone else, don't betray me, and I was just like, oh god. Honestly, it is brutal. The final stand of Hishi and her grandfather and his execution, I could not handle it. I was sitting there watching the drama with one hand over my face and like I wanted to look away I wanted to look away so bad, but I couldn't. Like, my eyes were glued to the screen and she was struggling to get free and he was about to be executed, and I was sitting there like, no, 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 no. This is why I don't watch tragedy dramas, because I can't deal. I watch dramas to feel good and have a good time, okay? I was not having a good time during this episode. I was tense, I was on edge, and I was stressed. I was stressed, okay? Before we get on to anything else to do with the plot, characters, Xiaofeng, main female lead. I loved her. She's cute. She runs a little bit wild. Once she gets to the palace, she struggles with memorizing all of the etiquette that comes with living there. And she basically just wants to have fun and have a good time. And in the palace, she's being restricted a lot, which isn't something that she's used to. And I would also like to point out that she is like 16 to 18 throughout this entire drama, because I feel like a lot of people were getting annoyed at her character and thought she was acting kind of immature and childish. I was just kind of really on her side, and I really kind of understood her and empathized with her. That's all I'm saying. I was really impressed with the acting, because she did cute and funny, and then she did heart-wrenchingly emotional. My heart literally broke for her and all of the suffering that she was going through throughout the entire drama. I really, really admired her for not leaving and for having the bollocks to stay and do her duty, but she dead ass pulled a knife on Chen Yin on that wedding night, and I was just like, damn, I think I love her. I just can't with how lovable and bright and carefree her character is, and she's so caring towards other people, but wow, can she hold her own when she needs to. Like, at one point he slaps her, and I would say that it is a feeble slap at best, to be fair, but she cracked him one back and I was like, damn! Chen Yin, aka Xiaowu, who is the male lead. Oh boy, here we go. The thing is, I genuinely ship them, and I thought they were so cute together, and he genuinely had feelings for her and he wanted to marry her, but he really genuinely seemed to think that everything was going to be peachy once he'd killed everyone she knows and loves, and he didn't really seem to think that she'd have any kind of problem with that, and that she'd just, you know, happily marry him and he'd become crown prince and then they'd skip off into the sunset. And like, what the fuck? Of course he did actually realise after everything had happened that he had completely traumatized her, but he was still pushing the whole marry me thing. I was like, what is wrong with you? Have some tact, dude. Read the room. Honestly, the most unbelievable part of this entire drama for me is that he is supposed to be intelligent, because sometimes I looked at him and I was like, do you even have a brain? He just had me so torn throughout this entire drama. I got his side, I understood it, but the retaliation just was not justified. And you know, I'd be like, wow, you're a dick, I hate you, and then he'd do something like, you know, he actually cried when he was killing her grandfather, and when she found out, and you could see that he felt bad and he did question what he'd done and if it was the right thing, and he did clearly love her so much, but he still went and did it all anyway. The thing is, like, he can be really sweet, like going to see her, carrying her home when she's drunk, trying to find something to alleviate her homesickness, and basically caring for her in his own way, but then 2 seconds later he's a complete and utter dickhead. And I know he's trying to protect her, and I know he genuinely loves her, but he persists in doing dickish things. Like, he's out here using another girl to try and get the crown prince position. Like, come on, dude. He had the audacity to marry Xiaofeng and that annoying Sessa girl on the same freaking day. Like, really, dude? Yeah, he went to Xiaofeng first. Yeah, he got completely and utterly hammered so he wouldn't have to sleep with the annoying girl, and because, you know, heartbroken that Xiaofeng was literally ready to shank him because she hates him that much. But like, if you insist on doing these things, what do you expect? I thought that his acting was really, really good. He goes from being all sweet and adorable and smiley Xiaowu one moment to being Chen Yin, the more closed off, more serious, revenge seeking kind of cold guy the next. And basically he does really, really well at showing two different sides to his character and showing that he's not really all bad and that deep down he is quite a nice guy and he's kind of sweet, which is why I was so damn torn. Once we started getting to the cute scenes again, and we didn't have that many before we went back into angst territory, I was back in there finding it hard to hate him but occasionally wanting to smack him one place. And then he went psychotic. But my main gripe is, and I know that he lost his memories, but he does know what he did to the Danchi people, but he was genuinely like, what have I ever done wrong? Let alone after he kills off a certain person who he thinks is Xiaofeng's love, like her only love, like her one true love. He forces her to watch him kill the guy, and then he's like, why do you hate me? Why has your heart not warmed to me? Like, you're allegedly intelligent and you're literally asking that question after you've just done that, like,
It's not clicking. What's not clicking?
but once he'd gotten over his creep phase, he did break my heart again at the end. And he also wins the award for the most dramatic blood spray I have ever seen. The tone of that scene was sadly ruined because I practically choked laughing, but that's beside the point. I have to say, he is the first I've watched that didn't remarry and didn't have kids, so I was kind of like, wow, impressive. But let's be real, the bar was pretty fucking low for him at this point. Our second male lead is Gujan. Basically, all of this could have been avoided if this dude had fake married her like she asked him to. And I actually hold him the most accountable out of everyone because, hello, he is the one that shoved her at Cheng Yin. What I will say in his favour though is at least he can feel some guilt and he isn't as dumb as his cousin, aka Captain I've killed everyone you ever cared about, love me. Although I did question him when he was sitting there getting drunk off his ass all the time, like, dude, do your job. He did go to really great lengths to make up for what he did, so I was like, okay dude, you're okay. Although I cackled when Xiaofeng was talking to him and she was saying all like how she didn't remember him, so she was a little bit distant with him, but he took care of her and she remembered it in her heart, and she kept repeating I want to over and over, and everyone leaned in. I leaned in and she said she wanted him to be her sibling, and I was like, right in the friend zone. Much as he was problematic in the beginning, I do feel like he redeemed himself throughout the rest of the show, and frankly he won when he protected Adu because he knew that it would hurt Xiaofeng if anything happened to her. That was more than could be said for Cheng Yin at that point, or most points. I mean, hey. Speaking of Adu, the bromance between her and Xiaofeng was on point. I lived for it. While we're talking about her and Xiaofeng, I do want to say that I really enjoyed getting to see the different tribes and their culture. There are a lot of interesting supporting characters in the tribe, and I was quite sad that we only got to see them for such a short run of episodes. Then obviously we move to the Li Kingdom and we see the contrasts and how different things are. Everything is more restrictive, there are more rules, it's quite stifling. And of course we get a new batch of intriguing supporting characters. Can we talk about General Pei? He's always looking out for her subtly and keeping an eye on her, and I actually thought he was quite sweet. Then he kept banging on about how the Crown Prince did what he did because of war, knowing full well what happened and how Cheng Yin snakily used her to massacre her own people. And I was like, really? Then, you know, the incident with Gujan happened. And I was sitting there watching that episode like, are you really gonna stand there and watch your buddy become a human porcupine when you know the truth of everything? The answer was yes, by the way. He knew how unhappy she was, he knew her memories were back, but he still led her into a trap, and then when she tries to run away, he's standing there, lurking in the back, watching it all kick off with his little awkward face on. I was like, come on man, I know you have a spine in there somewhere. Again, the ending could have been avoided, but no. Thanks, Pei. The plot moves along quite nicely with a nice mix of action and sweet moments in the beginning. I liked how it developed the romance in such a short space of time and showed them bonding. It perfectly built up a sense of tension and foreboding before hitting you with action and then the emotional scenes. Then obviously things have quite a change of pace when we reset and we focus on the race for the Crown Prince title. We obviously have Xiaofeng kind of assimilating to this new kingdom and the struggle she has with that, but we also have a lot to do with the scheming and the plotting to become the Crown Prince. Of course, while things are a little bit quiet at this point, there is of course more treachery, betrayal and angst to come. All I'm saying is just bask in the cute while you can and don't get too attached to anyone. I have to say I looked forward to each episode. I was genuinely looking forward to seeing what kind of political backstabbing was going to happen next, to see more of Xiaofeng's adventures and hijinks, to see more of the romance building up. It kept moving forward, all of the plot threads came together really nicely, and then it all led up into the ending. As for the ending, I genuinely can't imagine a different ending for this drama. I did kind of think I'd waver from that the more the show went on, but as much as I shipped them, I wanted them to be together, I wanted them to be happy. I wasn't actually wishing for a happy ending, I was more thinking that it was a shame that it had to end so badly for them, and I'm actually surprised I watched that final episode and actually felt satisfied with the ending. But for those of you who, like me, love a happy ending, there is a bonus show that is 4 episodes long, and they kind of make up for the sad ending, and it does fit with the whole 3 lifetimes thing, or whatever the exact quote was from the drama. Doesn't take anything away from the main series and its ending at all. It just kind of offers a compromise and some closure from those that wanted a happier ending. When it comes to the romance, I did love them. I'm sorry, but I did, and they broke my freaking heart. They were just so cute. He never tried to make her behave in a certain way, but he's just so dumb. when it comes to everything, the romance is quite intense throughout the first 10 episodes. There's a lot of cute moments and moments to squeal over, and then obviously they lose their memories and we essentially start again. But again, he still didn't really care if what she was doing was improper. She kind of wants to be friends with him initially, and she was so determined, and it was adorable. And it punched me in the heart when he rescued her from the water. Like, he doesn't remember his feelings for her, but subconsciously it's all still there. As much as I like the romance that developed between them the first time, the second time built it up a lot more and delved into it more. Then there's the whole thing where she thinks the annoying girl is the one that he really loves. And of course, by the time he could admit his feelings for her, we have that scene. Yikes. He's out there with his happy little idiotic smiling face on, and he's all like, I love you. She stabbed him in the chest. Awkward. Although that probably hurt him the least out of everything in the grand scheme of things, to be fair. I did enjoy their bickering throughout though, although I did want to smack him more than once, but what's new? Yes, I know he cares for her and he has to act otherwise to protect her, but still, sometimes he should dial it back. The drama does kind of take a turn for the darker when Xiaofeng gets her memories back and he ends up becoming such an asshole. Oh, we do get one cute romance, but you barely see it. But at least someone got that happy ending, right? I did give this drama 8.5 out of 10, but it does still have some negatives. While I do feel like the drama was well paced for the most part, at the same time, I do feel like they could have pulled out those initial 10 episodes a bit more. And then the whole assassin fiasco could definitely have been cut down. I was also disappointed and slightly irritated that scenes were cut, which I didn't realise initially, and then it reached a point when some of those cuts became quite obvious. But I feel like the more glaring issue with the scenes that have been cut is that apparently, and from what I've seen on YouTube, some cute romance scenes between the two leads got cut. I really do feel like the ones that have been cut could have been kept in to give us some more, because we were literally getting crumbs at one point. There is also a weirdly awkward musical montage of the fall of one of the people that Cheng Yin did all of this to get revenge on, and I was like, after all of that we get a sodding montage. Then there is Sese. What even happened to her? Like, did I blink and miss it? Because she was just never dealt with again after a certain point, and I assume she lived. Ditto with Gujan's godfather. Was he actually poisoned, or is he, you know, still alive and kicking? I don't know, because it wasn't on screen. Final thoughts, the acting was absolutely phenomenal. The settings and scenery were absolutely beautiful. I did like the soundtrack. Little Fox and the ending song were completely gorgeous. There's plenty to keep you watching alongside the romance. There's lots of political intrigue and lots of scheming, and I feel like it was a mostly satisfying end, and the ending just feels very right to me. And I have to say, I would actually rewatch this drama. I think it's now one of my favourites, and I just, what is happening? What is happening? So that has been Dramarama episode 2. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you've watched either of these two dramas, let me know down below what your thoughts were on it. I post similar content every Wednesday, so feel free to hit that subscribe button. Allegedly, the bell notification is apparently a thing that you should press, and I should be telling you guys to press. I don't know. It does something. Notifies you probably. Whatever. I will link all of my social media down below so you guys can come and chat to me on Twitter and see what I'm currently watching. And I'll see you guys next video.